dealing with sleep and issues around sleep. If that's you and you're like me and you're struggling to sleep, you know you should be sleeping. Well, I've been lucky enough just to have my first consultation with a sleep expert, and I've learnt a lot. I learnt loads from being on the radio on BBC 5 Live with Natalie, the mindset coach. And she's taking me through a 6-week challenge that I'm going to share with you. And this is week 1 observation mode. And now, firstly, over the weekend, I had to give my honest kind of like where I am at with sleep. And it's something that I really do struggle with. I have in my head I should be doing it. I know it's important. I know I'm great at training my body and my mental well-being in the sense of actively doing things, actively exercising, doing my morning routine, really like focusing on that side of things. But then when it comes to sleep, that's what I neglect, that hygiene, sleep hygiene at the end of the night. Actually getting proper sleep. But you get told so much information, it's hard to decipher. And it's great working with Natalie, who has worked with like GB athletes and people all over the world, to actually really hone down on her tips for sleep. So to start with, week 1 is observation mode. So she said, obviously, remove the word should from my language. Stop putting that pressure on myself to sleep. That's what she said initially when I first spoke to her. But then in our call, it was really helpful. Granted, I'm also homeschooling this silly little bit of time I've got. So it was chaos in the background, but I still picked up golden tips with sleep. And it's about getting those like 5 cycles, those 1.5 hour cycles, 90-minute cycles of sleep, and ideally 5 of those a day, so you don't have to put pressure to do it all at night. But to start with, in week 1, the first 10 days anyway, I'm going to commit to getting up at the same time every day. So even if it's a bit slower a week and I still have to get up, even if I come back to bed and read or journal or do something. So I'm going to commit to 6 a.m. I'm doing a public display of accountability. I suggest you also do that with someone. I've got Natalie I can check in with every morning as well. So I'm going to be working with Natalie as a sleep coach, and we're going to be documenting it for BBC Radio 5 Live. But it's a lot deeper for me with sleep, but I'll tell you about that shortly. But first, I've also got to do a body scan. So she's going to send me a body scan to do, which is like a 20 minutes kind of mindfulness rest. I've not done it yet, so I'll see how I get on. And the idea of that actually like almost scares me. I'd rather like pump out a HIIT class first thing in the morning and kettlebells and stuff, which is fine. She says that works for me, and she actually recommends exercising within an hour of waking up. She says that's like the best time we should raise our heart rate, and actually like as we're getting into the flow. And it's the worst time to go on social media because we're just kind of adjusting into life, and yeah, that's when you can get into the scroll hole. So that's another really important tip. So I've also got to do the body scan once a day, and I'm someone, I struggle with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, as well as other health issues, and it all stems from stress. And I know my key to well-being is sleep, and this is one thing that I'm going to find really, really difficult. There's so many issues. Yes, Bambi? I'm coming down, Bambi. Right, on that note, this is week 1. I'm actually going to open a Christmas present. I got a Sanctuary Wellness Sleep Kit. I've got a Himalayan salt lamp already. Natalie sending me a Lumi alarm clock, which is like a daylight clock, because every night... I'm upstairs, Bambi! Every night I've got to have a no tech zone from 9:45, which we will find really hard. But I'm getting the kids on board, aren't you, to do the sleep challenge with me as well. Although we might make the tech zone a bit earlier, no tech zone. So we're going to have a bit of a shut off downstairs at a certain time, and we have to be upstairs and also have like lower lighting, everything calmer, dim, because also apparently the issue is with having screens so close to our face is the worst thing for us. And actually, at least a TV is a bit more distant, at least Alexa's a bit distant, so I'm allowed to listen to podcasts at night, which is good for me, and have a bath and do my like body check then, which apparently is from the feet up. I don't know if you've done it, I'd love to know your experiences, but it's all about training to be an athlete. So in the sense, whether you're a mom like me working from home, trying to homeschool, trying to run businesses, trying to keep fit, trying to do everything, or you feel like you are, it's actually about resting in the sense to perform at our best, to get to our peak performance, rather than getting stuck in his head, getting stuck in his narrative in his head. So a good reflection for me, for example, when I write my newspaper columns or my blog posts or whatever I make creatively, you can get that creative block, you can start writing and be like, right, got this hour I need to do, and then your head you're thinking, I don't know where to start, don't know what to do. I'm feeling like I get my wave of fatigue when I'm sat at the desk, so I'm scared to sit down because I get the tingling like pins where it's like physically painful, so I almost get a bit like fear of stopping. So it's about actually saying, okay, so if I'm feeling that fatigue, having my rest first, 20 minutes, and then having 40 minutes of like really good work, rather than an hour of like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, don't know, I feel like this. So it's really good. So I'd love you to share your sleep tips or how you're finding sleeping. If I can do this, someone who struggles with sleep for a number of issues. I have a struggle with darkness. I'll tell you about that another time. From my past, I have a struggle with silence. I'm not very good. Like, I normally have like a podcast going and then another stimulus and then another stimulus. I literally have so many stimuli in my life constantly because I get scared to have silence and darkness. It even makes me want to cry, the thought of silence and darkness, because it takes back to a difficult time. But as I've also learned, and I really do believe this, mindfulness is not being just present in the pleasant moments. Mindfulness is also being present in the challenging moments as well. So that's something I'm going to have to really breathe into, and also the stillness and the rest and recovery will actually be a big challenge for me. It's like someone starting out lifting weights or whatever it is, it's that initial hurdle, which is why I'm going to do this committed, especially for the first 10 days. I've got to do it like full on, even at weekends. It's not like 80-20, it's 100% effort to start with, just to get me on track. And also to get the kids on track. So on that note, we better go and slow down and adjust the lighting. I've got until 9:45 on my technology, so better go. Anyway, sending you all so much peace, so much love, and so many shimmies. The only growth comes out of pushing us out of our comfort zone. And I've faced phone phobia in every single lockdown. I face my comfort zone every single day, and this is a big challenge for me. Anyway, you can follow my journey on here and at Mama May Blog across social media. I'll always love chatting to you about well-being and fitness and mind and body fitness and mental health. I'm passionate about. Yes, Bambi, I'll just come in 1 second. I'm coming in 1 second because you got your tea. So I'm really passionate about all those subjects, and this is the one piece missing, and I am passionate about it, so I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. So let's do this. Right, on that note, we're going to go calm.